Hi, I'm Cindy Reed. I teach beginning lampwork here at William Holland. I started doing lampwork in 2004, and lampwork is strictly, it's making glass beads or glass sculptures. So we make regular beads. We also can make sculptures like little glass fish. So I started melting in 2004, and I taught my first class here in 2008, and I've been teaching ever since. I teach usually 4 weeks a year, sometimes 6. The lamp work is kind of a misnomer. It's actually flame work. We use an oxypropane tanks to light our flames. Back in the day, like in the 1800s or maybe earlier, they actually used oil lamps to melt the glass. So that's how they got the word lamp work. Mostly people call flame work a little bit heavier stuff, like when you're doing glass blowing. It's where the flames come in. So we use, to make a bead, we use a stainless steel welding rod, which has mud on it, and this is what we melt the glass around is the mud. We use glass sticks like this. So when we heat it, we're just turning this and wrapping the glass on there. This allows us to get the glass off the stick without it adhering to the metal. If we just put it on the metal, it'd never come off. So I'm gonna demo a bead for you today. I'm gonna make a glass fish, and I hope you enjoy it. We've got some of the stuff I'm using is glass frit, and it's just smashed up pieces of glass that give you different patterns. So for this fish, I'm going to do a cobalt blue. I'm going to roll it in this kind of a yellow and green frit. It's going to have a pretty brown tail and gorgeous orange lips. So it's time to light the flame. I'm using just a striker like you'd use for a barbecue. So that was the propane, and now I'm adding in the oxygen because I need a perfect flame for this. So before we can use it, we have to heat up the mud that's on that mandrel. Otherwise we get a lot of bubbles in the glass. All right. Got to heat, this glass has to be heated gradually, or it could just go pop, 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 and you'd have glass shards everywhere. So by heating it, warming it up a little bit slow, it lets me just come into the flame then, and it will melt. And I'm just going to touch the metal. So I just touch the mandrel, and then I start to turn it away from me. And that lets the glass go down smoothly. If I feel like the glass isn't going smooth, I can come out and just let it cool off a little bit and then come back in again. Every fish has its own personality, and it's one of my favorite things to make. So, this isn't going to be a huge fish, but it'll be big enough. So what I do is I wrap it and make it round. I always start with a round bead, and then I'm going to let this one slump because I need a place to put the lips. There's certain places that are better to work in the flame. It's called the neutral spot, and it's just right where the cones turn blue, or goes from blue to yellow. Is the neutral part of the flame, and that's where we need to be. All right, so that's going to be enough for now. And now I'm going to run it in this, put this through the frit and pick up some different colors. So the colors I'm picking up are orange, green, yellow. There might be some blue in there, I'm not sure. But they'll look really good on the cobalt glass. You don't need a lot, it's just a little bit. So this is going to make this fish speckled. I'm going to let it slump just a little bit. because that's where I want the lips to go. So now I'm going to put it up here and give it a little flattening. Once I add those lips and the eyes, you'll start to see the fish. So if you look in there, you can see it's starting to look a little bit like a fish. So now it's going to get orange lips. All right, so now it's time to put on the lips. Just heat that glass up a little bit, and now I'm going to get this rod hot. I'm going to let it fall through the flame and onto the fish. So now it's going to have lips. And I just use this really inexpensive little paring knife. And I just cut right across. And now she has mouth. This is a stringer of glass. It's pulled really thin. And that's why it's called a stringer, because it's just a tiny little piece. So now she's got one eye. There's the other eye. Still can't see though, she's still blind. She needs a pupil. If you notice, I just bounce in and out of the edge of the flame. If I went right through the flame, it would melt up into nothingness. There we go. So now she's got pupils. Oops, that one needs to go down a bit. Now she's beginning to look like something. We know she's a she. All right, so this is some brown. I'm just going to do a little swipe on her for thin. Give her one on the other side. And now she's going to get a tail, and the tail is going to go back and forth. So I'm just doing thin glass right across the back. She's going to be a baby fish. I got to keep those lips warm or they'll fall off and she won't be able to eat anything. Don't want the eyes to fall off either, so you got to give them a little bit of heat. Since she's little, she doesn't get a big tail. I'm going to cut those fins in a little bit. Well, a little bit more. There we go. Do this side. And then this is my fish tail puller. So by squashing the glass with these, it gives the tail definition. Got to put tools in the water because if they get too hot, they'll stick to the glass. And that's it. We have a minnow. Now she has to go in the kiln and stay in there for multiple hours until it comes down and she gets annealed and she doesn't break. So she's going in the kiln now. And there you can see what it looks like with the lips and the eyes and the beautiful tail.